Hello, I'm Don Polden, a member of the faculty at Santa Clara University Law School, and I'll be serving as the director of Santa Clara's Tokyo program in the summer of 2017. This webinar is to provide you with some information about that program, and then at the end, certainly to encourage you to send questions you might have about your particular interest in that program or another one of Santa Clara's programs. So with that, why don't we get started? We have a second-year law student here at Santa Clara who, Amanda, was a member of our program in summer of 2016. So I'll let her introduce herself and talk a little bit about her experience in that program.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name's Amanda, and I'm a 2L at Santa Clara University Law School. I attended the Tokyo program last summer, and I had a great time, and I can't wait to share all my experiences with you.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, first of all, about the application process. Was it a fairly easy, kind of transparent process, getting your materials in and getting word back from the school? What were your experiences in the application and admission process?
The application process was really simple. They asked me for my resume. They asked me if I had certain language skills that would be applicable in Tokyo. They also asked me what my preferences were in regards to my internship. So what type of environment I wanted to be in, what subject matter was I interested in, et cetera, et cetera. It was a really simple, easy process that wanted to get to know me. So it was a very simple process, yes.
So did you find in your experience that language proficiency, Japanese language proficiency, was essential or necessary, or were you able to function well without that?
So before I went to Japan, I actually took it upon myself to try to pick up a little bit of Japanese. So like numbers, how to say here or there, or to ask where something is, very basic things. But for some other students that preferred to not take up Japanese a little bit, they got along perfectly fine without speaking Japanese at all. So other students that did not want to pick up Japanese, they functioned perfectly fine with English over there.
Good. Did you like the food over there?
The food was probably one of the greatest highlights, and it's definitely something that you must do. You have to try all the different types of foods in Tokyo. Yeah, I loved the ramen, of course the sushi, but those were the top two types of Japanese foods that were the best there in Tokyo.
Exciting. How many students were in your program last summer?
There were approximately about 15 different students were in my program, so a total of 15 students.
Great. And then also I just mentioned that Amanda went and took a internship following the conclusion of the Tokyo program, and her internship took her to Seoul. So we'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. But going back to the program here, would you tell me a little bit about the courses that you took and the quality of the instructors that were teaching those courses?
Sure. So the courses that we took were particularly focused on the Japanese legal system. We did have 3 different professors that actually lectured for us, and they are professors in Japan. So Professor Abe taught us the introduction to the Japanese legal system. Professor Matsushita taught us international transactions, and Professor Inaba, I believe he taught us Japan and international trade. And our program director at that time, Professor Jimenez, he also is a professor at Santa Clara Law, and he decided to teach a little bit there too. So we got a lot of different perspectives and a lot of homegrown perspectives on the Japanese legal system.
So a lot of the focus of our Tokyo program is on international business, international trade, and certainly corporate business transactional interactions between the United States businesses and companies in the United States and those in Japan as well. So, but certainly the externships give our students options to do other things, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. How was your day structured there? Where you had classes in the morning and they worked you 7 days a week there, or did you get some time off?
So the classes were mainly structured for the morning so that later on in the afternoon we could go out and explore the city. So I recall we did have class almost every day. There were some weeks where we did go Monday to Friday, maybe 10 to 2 or 10 to 12. There were some weeks where it was only Monday to Thursday. So it really depends on the program, but there was always time in the early afternoon to go out and explore on your own. There weren't ever any classes in the evening for me.
Okay. So you had plenty of time to prepare for the next day if you were reading in preparation for the course. And also, I would ask you about your experience on some of the planned trips that the program director and his associate arranged last summer.
Mm-hmm. So we did visit a number of different locations all together as a group. We went to the National Diet, which is their parliamentary body. We went to the Constitutional Court there. It's located in Tokyo, and it's really difficult to actually get in without being appointed a tour guide. We also went to the Japan Patent Office, and we got a tour there. We got to see all the different patents that were there also. Those are really great tours. Mm-hmm.
Great. Did you find Tokyo an easy or difficult city to get around and know your way around? Was public transportation helpful there?
The city is absolutely easy to get around, especially by yourself. The transportation system is extremely efficient down to the second. It's a great system, and I kind of wish we did have that in California here. But I had a wonderful time. I got around there with friends, with the large group on our big tours. We used public transportation there. You can walk everywhere. They have taxis, and it's very easy to get around.
So very helpful to know. When you and your colleagues, fellow classmates in the program were not at school, maybe on the weekend and that sort of thing, what sort of social things did you all do? Did you get out of town, visit the country? What?
So I personally chose to go with my classmates to different restaurants. So we would take it upon ourselves to go to a different brunch place maybe every other day. There is a Disney park in Tokyo, so we chose to go there for one weekend also. I heard some of our other classmates actually went to a different province outside of Tokyo, maybe a couple hours outside of Tokyo. They took the bullet train to get there. And I also went to a different province, kind of northwest of Tokyo, just by myself, because it was just that easy. So there are definitely many things to do in Tokyo, but if you really wanted to get away from the big city, you can definitely do that very easily.
Wonderful. How about housing? Like most of Santa Clara's programs, we don't require our students to stay at a particular location. We do have housing available for our summer program students at the Asia Center, which is the location of the classroom where but our students are not required to stay there. They can stay on their own. What was your housing arrangement like?
So I was fortunate enough to have other classmates from Santa Clara going to the program with me. So we got an Airbnb apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, and the 4 of us stayed there. It was only a 5-minute walk from the Asia Center, which was where all our lectures were. And it was just really convenient. It was right next to a convenience store, in fact. So we got our breakfast in the mornings and we would walk to school together. But I know a lot of classmates that stayed at the Asia Center, and it was extremely convenient for them because all they have to do is go downstairs and get to class. Yeah. But that was my experience. We just had a small apartment.
Terrific. Now, a number of the students are from Santa Clara. Many of the students at the program are from other law schools throughout the United States. Were you able to get to know them before the program started, so you had a chance to visit a little bit about getting together in Tokyo when you were in class together?
Yeah, actually, we got added to a Facebook group in March, so we got a good count of how many people we were expecting to be classmates with, and some actually arranged to live together also, either at the Asia Center or separately in another apartment.
Very helpful thing for our students. Now, your internship that you took was in Seoul, and the Santa Clara Law School arranges internships at the request of students who enroll in the internship program during the summer. And there's a number of options on there. What was your experience like in Seoul?
So I interned with an international business law firm. They're called Yun & Yang, and they're basically in the heart of Seoul. They have over about 200 different attorneys, including foreign associates, meaning the attorneys who are foreign associates can practice in the US, they're licensed in the US, but they choose to do law in Korea. I had a great experience there because I was placed in that foreign associate department. I had other fellow interns who were from different countries. So we had interns not only from the US, but interns from France, interns from Japan. And it was a really great experience to see exactly how I personally can get along with people of other cultures and still create that really great environment for the law firm. I was given certain tasks that I had to work on with other interns. A lot of it was also just getting to know the different associates that actually do work at Yun & Yang. So it was half work, half social, half networking. Yeah.
Terrific. You know, it was a great experience.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Lots of fun. And the food in Seoul was on a par?
Oh, they're very generous with their food there. They give large portions. It's definitely more of a culinary, well, in Japan, the food is very clean, very simple, very elegant, but in Korea, of course, it's elegant and delicious, but they definitely love their protein and their meat there.
So, Amanda, would it be fair to say that it was a positive experience that you had in both Tokyo and then the follow-up internship in Seoul?
I think it's definitely fair to say that. I'm sure you can tell from my excitement about talking about it. It was a great experience. I'm really happy I did it, yes. I wanted to mention also one of my favorite stories about being in Tokyo. So I was in Tokyo for about a couple weeks already into the program. And, you know, the city is extremely busy. There's people going everywhere. There's people working, people traveling, and it was pretty busy. So I wanted to get out of that environment and go kind of to the mountains. So I decided to travel by myself. I took the public transportation, and I went to a province just northwest of Tokyo called Chichibu, and that area is completely mountainous. They don't have apartment buildings there. They have like very individualized homes there. So I actually stayed on an Airbnb there with a couple, and they had a traditional Japanese room with the tatami mats. They're traditional Japanese mats there. So it was completely made of like paper and bamboo and everything. And they let me stay there. And that weekend, I decided to travel up to one of the hidden shrines in the mountain nearby. So I took a bus, and I don't speak Japanese, so it was really difficult to get there by myself. But I somehow got to this shrine, and it's a shrine dedicated to the spirits of wolves that used to actually live in that mountain. Prior to the opening of Japan to the world, the wolves that lived there were actually worshipped as gods. But after Japan was open, the wolves were actually hunted, so there's no wolves there anymore, so I was safe. But, you know, I went to this shrine. It's absolutely beautiful. It's huge. There's wolf statues everywhere, and people bring their dogs to worship the wolf spirits. But, you know, actually going there by myself, going to a different province by myself, was completely fulfilling for me. That's the main reason why I wanted to go on this trip, was kind of not only to learn about other legal systems, but to also kind of make sure that I can get around by myself in the world. And that was definitely a mission accomplished, I think.
Well, it sounds like you got the most out of that summer experience that you had. And so this concludes our webinar on Santa Clara Summer Program in Tokyo. I would encourage you to send the questions you might have to the website and contact information that will appear on the screen here in a moment. Let us know your questions and anything we can do to help you in your decision to attend and participate in this wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you.